pointed out one thing that was clearly wrong, and somehow, within a week, you became the problem. Not the thing you raised, you. Suddenly there's a bad feeling in the room whenever you walk in. People who weren't even there have got opinions about you now. And the conversation stopped being about the actual issue and started being about your tone, your attitude, whether you've been a bit difficult lately. And the person who actually did the thing, they're fine, better than fine. Somehow they've turned into the one everyone feels sorry for. And you walk away thinking, hang on, I just told the truth. How am I the bad guy here? If that hits a nerve, here's what I need you to know. That wasn't bad luck, and you didn't handle it wrong. What happened to you is a specific move. It's been studied, it's got a name, and it tends to happen to good people specifically. Once you know what it's called, you'll see it coming every time. So let me walk you through exactly how it goes, because it runs the same way nearly every time. Doesn't matter if it's family, a friend, or someone you work with. First, they deny it. It didn't happen. You've got it wrong. That's not what I said. You're remembering it wrong. You're making something out of nothing. And straight away, you're on the back foot, because now you're not even arguing about the thing anymore. You're arguing about whether the thing ever happened at all. Then they turn it on you. And watch this bit, because they don't go after what you said, they go after you. You're too sensitive. You're dramatic. You've been really difficult lately. You always have to find a problem, don't you? And at work, it's the tidy version of the same thing. A quiet little word in a meeting about whether you're really coping. Said all nice and reasonable, so everyone nods along. Same knife, nicer handle. And the whole point of it is to get everyone, you included, staring at what you're like instead of what they did. Then comes the part that really gets you. They flip the whole thing around. All of a sudden, they're the hurt one. Look how upset you've made them. Look what you've done, dragging all this up. And you, the one this was actually done to, you walk out as the one who did something. You went in with a problem, and now you are the problem. And you feel it, don't you? Not straight away. Usually about 3 hours later, standing in the shower, when it hits you. Hang on, why am I the one who ended up apologizing? And that gap, that delay before the penny drops, that's not you being slow. That's the whole trick working exactly the way it's meant to. In a second, I'll tell you what it's actually called. Because it's got a name, and the name is the thing that lets you fight back. It's called DARVO. It stands for deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. And that's the move, in order. Deny it happened, attack the person who said so, then reverse the roles. So the one who did the harm becomes the victim, and the one who got harmed, they become the offender. And this isn't some pop psychology thing off the internet. It comes from a psychologist called Jennifer Freyd, who's been studying exactly this for decades. Give her the credit. She put a name on something that had been happening to people forever with no word for it. And having no word for it is a big part of why it works. And here's why the name matters more than any tip I could give you. This move only works while it's invisible. While you still think it was just a messy argument, or bad luck, or maybe you really did handle it wrong. But the second you can see the shape of it, deny, attack, reverse, deny, attack, reverse, it stops feeling like you're losing your mind, and it starts being a pattern you're just watching. You go from, why do I always end up the bad guy, to, that's the reverse. They're doing it right now. And it's a lot harder to get pulled under by something you can see coming. So if you've spent years quietly wondering whether you're the difficult one, the too much one, the one who's always the problem, hear this. You weren't crazy. You weren't imagining it. There was a pattern and it had a name. Nobody ever taught it to you. But now you've got it. Now here's the part that makes this bigger than one bad boss or one difficult family member. And it's the bit I really want you to hear. The exact same move runs at every size. One person does it to wriggle out of being held to account, to protect their ego from having to admit they were wrong. And a whole institution does it for the very same reason, just with more polish and more lawyers. Freyd's got a name for the big version too, institutional DARVO. It's when an organisation gets accused of something and instead of facing it, denies it happened, goes after the person who spoke up, then plays the wounded party whose good name is under attack. And you've seen this. You've watched it in the news your whole life without having the word for it. The workplace that investigates the person who complained instead of the thing they complained about. The place that closes ranks and treats the whistleblower like the threat. The family that protects the golden child and turns the one who told the truth into the black sheep. Different scale, same move. So why do they all do it? Well, it's the same reason every time. Nearly every one of them will protect one thing above the truth. Its reputation. The story it tells about itself. So the second you speak up, you stop being a person with a fair point and you turn into a threat to that story. A problem to be managed. So they don't deal with the harm, they deal with you. Not because you're wrong, because actually facing what you're saying would cost them the one thing they're built to protect. So here's the part that actually gets you out from under it. Knowing the name is step one, but this is the bit that stops it eating you alive. The whole move only works because of one thing. For a second, you believed them. When they flipped it and made you the bad guy, some part of you went, well, maybe they got a point. Maybe it was me. And that's not a weakness in you. That is the trap. It works precisely because you're the kind of person who's willing to look at yourself, who cares about being fair, who'll actually stop and go, hang on, am I the problem here? Decent people are the easiest targets because they'll do the reversing to themselves for free. It's the good ones this happens to. So go back to the moment. Were you telling the truth? Were you being straight? Being decent? Saying a true thing that needed saying? Maybe not perfectly, not gracefully. Nobody handles this stuff gracefully. Just was the thing you said true? And were you square with your own values when you said it? Because if the answer's yes, then the label they stuck on you isn't a fact about you. It can't be. You checked and you were straight. So being made the villain isn't proof you did something wrong. It's proof you said something they needed to bury. Their reversal isn't a verdict on your character. It's a receipt for what your truth was going to cost them. And once you can see it like that, plain as day, you can stop doing the one thing the whole move needs you to do. Turn on yourself. You don't have to argue them out of it. You just have to stop believing it about yourself. So what do you actually do with this? One thing, and it's smaller and quieter than you'd ever think. When it starts, when you feel the deny, attack, reverse kick in, don't waste your energy trying to argue the label off. That's the fight they want. Because while you're busy proving you're not dramatic, the actual thing you raised has quietly disappeared. Instead, just name it to yourself, even silently. That's the reverse. I can see what they're doing. Naming it on the inside is what keeps your feet on the ground while they're trying to move it out from under you. And look, if you're watching this and you recognize it because you're in the middle of it right now, in something that's genuinely harmful, please talk to someone. Talk to someone you trust or a proper support service where you are. A video can hand you the word for something, it can't sit with you through it. And you shouldn't have to do the hard part on your own. Because here's the thread underneath all of this. You can only stand in your own reality when you actually know what you stand for. That whole check I just gave you, was I being straight? Was I square with my values? It only works if you know what your values genuinely are. And most people have never once sat down and worked that out. If telling the truth made you the villain in someone's story, that was never a verdict on you. It was the price of saying it out loud. There's nothing wrong with you for having said the true thing. There never was.